body, baby. His body, baby. Oh, nigga. Cha, ha. Oh, nah, nah. Bum, 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 bum.
Hey y'all, what's going on? Okay, y'all, we're gonna talk about Greenleaf, but honey, I'm just gonna tell you, Lord, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. And listen, I'm going to do the best that I can do. I said I wanted to watch James do his, and maybe every now and again I would miss it. But if y'all email me one more time and leave a comment on Facebook, Twitter, and so I'm gonna do my best. But you know how it's some shows like I'm gonna do my best. Y'all know I always get under the church queens' dresses and curling on under their skin. They get to feeling some kind of way. But I'm going to do my best. But I am going to say, in the process of checking out mine, James Caldwell is doing reviews on this. So he been waiting on this shit to come on, so y'all check him out. Also, Ashley is doing some reviews. And anybody else that's watching, now I'm subscribed to it, whatever, you doing some reviews, honey, get it my motherfucking way. Because maybe you, as I go along, can give me a little bit more understanding. Now, y'all know I will step from way behind the curtain and reach for some church queens. So let's go on and reach and let's get it in. Now, of course, I don't know all their names, honey. Before it's over with, we might have the pastor Skip Scop and Hop de Bop. And the first lady funky bitch, you will fly coach if you have to, or you see what I mean? Anyway, so basically what I'm getting from Greenleaf is this. They, of course, is this big black mega church. So, that within itself just screams scandal and just ravens and bones and shit falling out of multiple closets. Okay. So, they apparently, one young lady comes back. There's a death that brings this one daughter back or whatever. And, one daughter kills herself because she had been, raped. We ain't even gonna say allegedly. Y'all know, unless they gonna pull a coup and it was somebody else who did it. I don't know. But it looks to me like the motherfucking uncle then raped her, and then, she couldn't deal with it. Recanting. You know how it goes. You know how some of the first ladies will do. They'll be like, now, are you sure your drawers was off and your legs was up? And are you sure that he was in your cuckoo and not your booty? Because that would change some things. Maybe you didn't see it as you thought. Maybe it was your own fault because you in there singing and clapping so hard and your ass is just, some first ladies and how they feel, gonna always put it on the female. It's, she could be modestly dressed or whatever. And girl, but you jiggling and this and that and other, just like with Mahalia. Y'all, I just gotta mention this. This is why I say I don't know if I need to talk about this shit. Because I'll start reaching. Mahalia Jackson, wonderful singer. Y'all know she was the best that ever did it. One of the best. And she would get animated if you go back and look at some videos, and she was, body-wise, honey, she had her here, there, and everywhere. So when she would get to clapping and things, she would jiggle. And some of the first ladies would get upset. They would try to get her to be still and this and that and other, even though she's modestly dressed. It still wasn't enough. Still, the assless, tittyless first ladies of the church, Henriette and Margaret and all them, said, I love to hear her sing, but she's just jiggling for the devil. See, I'm just assuming. Anywho, so apparently the child and got raped or whatever. She couldn't deal with it. She did tell her sister. And she recanted what she said, but it ate her up and she couldn't get over it. Apparently she lived, after that, maybe a sultry life or whatever, what have you. Now, the other daughter, she's like, when they come on the first one that I seen, y'all, because I'm still trying to catch up which one I've seen and which one I hadn't. It's kind of, a little confusing on what there's a point where they all sitting in the damn at the table and shit, and they talking, and when you gonna let me do this, when I'm gonna do that, and there motherfuckers in their feelings. First lady sitting there like she really is Mary Magdalene somewhere, and you just know she's old funky hoe from way back in the motherfucking day, just posing and got motherfucking skeletons in her closet. Now, y'all don't even know if this is reviewed. This is just how I'm feeling about what's going on so far. Because, y'all, on this new episode, seemed to me like her and the deacon, or whomever, the uncle in question, was sitting real close together. I don't know. Y'all be clear with me on that shit, if y'all seen that shit. Anywho, she decides, the young lady who came in town, she decides she's going to stay. You know, she went and had a conversation in the episode before this one with Oprah, which, yes, Oprah is playing in this. This is her project, and she's playing it. And I have to say, with, you know, Oprah, she knows how to get into her parts. Like, she plays certain parts, and she knows how to get into them. So it's kind of refreshing to see her play Miss Bar Owner and this and that and other. You know what I mean? Where she might can kind of kick back just a little bit, do a little something, you know. So she's talking to her, and she's like, what happened? She said, well, you know, another girl, and he's up to his old tricks. You know, she said it, but then she recanted. The young lady that came in town, she's like, can you give me that information? You know, once she went home, called, said she was going to stay. So this time, she ain't going to let this shit fly. Now, in this new episode, there's this scene when the motherfucking devil walked into the club after she's clearing it out. It's gone. Everybody go home. Get your tax and don't do that. Yada, yada, yada. He comes in and talking about this building and you're expanding. And she said, what the hell you want? Now, y'all, as they was going through this shit, and she laid his ass out before he left, but not that the devil would mind. It's like the way she is with him, it's kind of like, well, what? What happened to you? I mean, like, did he do it to her? Then she made a reference to the fact of, I don't know what mom and dad did to you, and I know she done suffered from some stuff from my mom and dad. But she said, what you doing, you know, it's from the devil. Like you spreading it on purpose, this evilness, this whatever. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, so now we dabbling into another family. Boy, the motherfucking so-called saints of the church. Now, I say so-called because there's so many of y'all that's saying y'all the saints of the church, and you know you ain't nothing but the devil's decoy. Sit your ass down. Honey, the motherfucking devil will be in, see? And the reason why he can't exist and be in there because there's so many first ladies and deacons and shit carrying on doing all this motherfucking shit that they claim they against and turning their nose up to this and that and the third. You know what I mean? You know, acting like y'all subhuman. Y'all above the fray, please. You are the fray. Let's move forward. Give me a cigarette, baby. Now, since I said that, let me go ahead and throw in this one son that's with the girl, and they at the club, they drinking, he's doing karaoke, and then, honey, the children, two gay men was sitting there, and as he's singing, he locks eyes while he's doing, his wife is somewhere just throwing him back, you know, which I guess, I mean, you know, they try to act like, you know, we don't do this and we the saints, this and that, another. Do the saints drink? I guess. I mean, you put these rules on yourself because, you know, they talked about wine and things like that. Jesus turned water into wine and this, that, and the third. You putting these implications on yourself that you can't do certain things. Everything within moderation is the way it go. But, and see, y'all, this is why I don't know if I need to review this because, see, I'm implementing my, you know, these are my views and my points on how I feel. But he's singing and she's throwing him back. Meanwhile, she can't see when he come. Now, he didn't seen them and was like, Now, before they had that scene, it was him and some other church queen from one of the white mega churches. As they was in there with them cots and stuff was that, I was like, you know, I'm looking at how they talking. Oh, we work together, we do, and I'm like, oh shit, honey, do we got our first church queen, true queen? You know, hiding and faking the motherfucking funk. Like you ain't gay, sitting right there in wherever you at with the other one acting like you ain't. And it's something between them. Now, y'all seen that instantly. I was like, here we go again. He must sing in the choir because y'all know how they love. You know, they want to hold their noses up at the LGBTQ community unless they run in the choir and singing in the choir. That's when they can be like, we but yet playing. Sing, baby. Sing. But as soon as you try to do anything besides this and sing, honey, you are the devil straight from hell. Even though they know all of them asses they perched on talking about you as they sit down perched, all of them asses that been busted wide open. They done did dirt and all that while they passing motherfucking judgment. Had in them know they kids might have needed to eat and Frank done walked out, honey, and they done had to turn a quick one. Had they know how to turn that ass. But she'll sit in that church like that pocketbook being pristine, knowing them lips is laid over like a motherfucking envelope, just wide open like you done bust that bitch open. I'm just trying to understand. See, y'all, this is why I don't need to talk about this shit. Now, it may seem like, as I'm going through this, no, I'm not against the church. See, I'm against those church building folks. And that's what this show, to me, is about. And also showing, you know, how they will put on airs and hide things. Yes, we have a scoop of, you know, halfway decent people there because even the son that's gay, you know what I'm saying? His character is not bad, but he ain't living his truth. He know he can't do that. So he got to keep sleeping with this woman whom he probably do love as a person, but not in that way. The sadness of it is that she thinks she's being loved and she's not. You know, you a prop. You a beard. And that's unfortunate. You know. But anywho, so as that's going, I'm looking at them. So when the two guys sent over the drink and shit, she's like, oh, well, okay, you sung so good, just blind. You know what? You girls, ladies, in the motherfucking church, let me tell you something. You want to judge gay men when you don't, you know what I mean? You want to judge them. You apparently sit on the judgment seat, but bitch, you can't realize when you married to one, bitch, on the down low. I'm just saying, I can't. But we're going to move forward. So, you know, she don't realize they drinking and this, that, and other. And I like her character. I liked her character even when she was like, why you don't let me do it? You're letting him do it. And speaking of him, the other brother that's doing it, he's in the motherfucking church fucking the motherfucking secretary and she carries the Reverend's Bible. I can't. But Oprah, you better come through and shed some light on it. Now, have y'all wondered, have they been talking about the show? Because y'all know the church folks, whenever they putting on a show about the church and exposing some things, honey, they get, ooh, it ain't nothing but the devil. You know they ain't doing nothing but the devil's work. Girl, the devil's work is being done in there by half of y'all. Sitting in there because you there from sun up to sundown. Girl, you got to be at work. People go to work and hate the shit out of it, but they go. Shh, girl, please. See, y'all, I don't know what this has turned into. Anywho, he's screwing her. Him and his wife ain't getting along. At one point, the wife done drug him and he's on the deacon board. Clearly, he can't stand her. As they in there talking, he's drinking back boots before he even went. And as he sees the other couple, and y'all, I'm all over the place, I will try to be better at this shit next week and be more, you know, on key. But y'all, let me rock with how I'm rocking, okay? They sit there and the other couple begins to talk about, well, before they get to that, she begins to say that, oh, well, he's this way and he's not, you know, they go to this point where he ain't the one preacher that's going, and all of that, you know, that he gets to the point and he lets them get the feeling as they get it. You know, they begin to tell a story about one deacon was up there preaching and one of the parishioners mother somebody then laid back and they thought she was alive, but she dead as hell in there. But it wasn't nothing different because that's what she do every time he preach, look up at the sky and hope it be over. You know. So anyhow, so it's kind of like after they do that, her husband is not really, he's just kind of there like, yeah, keep bringing them drinks. If I got to sit next to this bitch. And at one point, he took his hand away like he gonna grab the drink. And then the other couple went on to say how they met. And said that they met and after a day or so, or one date or whatever, he asked her to get married, and they've been in love since. And when she, that just threw out, she said, I ain't never heard or seen nothing like it in my life. Because she don't have true love. There was some shit probably cooked up in the books, honey. It probably looked right for her and her man to be married, but it wasn't okay. You know what I mean? Because clearly he's out cheating with everybody else. And on the other episode, she was like, your side bitch called. The side chick, can you have her to not call? Like, When I tell you they would have been throwing holy water and church pews at my ass when I ran in that motherfucker and got a call from a side bitch. Excuse me, Pastor, honey, I'm going to need to interject here right now. I'm about to pop this bitch. I'm going to need you to pray for me if you can. And I'm about to, I don't know what I'm going to do to his ass. Like, I can't. Honey, this whole motherfucking thing of deal with it in fucking silence just irritates the fuck out of me. Which leads me to what this whole motherfucking get down is. And what's so sad is in our community, for years upon years, things like this will go on where, we just don't talk about it. He may have touched you. He touched me too and mama. The fuck out of her, bitch. He fucked up. And this is what I think we dealing with. So I'm grateful that Oprah has it out here and just showing the dirt. You got your daughter who is a free spirit who's coming back. She gonna try to work that shit out. Meanwhile, her daughter don't want to be there and somewhere running off with the other chick's daughter who is tooting riddling at some point and then running out to church at the church lock-in and getting high. Now, child, if this don't tell the truth on it, I'm gonna watch it just for this. Now, I know sure enough, as this show is on, again, some of the church building folks gonna be in their feelings. They're gonna be like, they just doing this to tear the church down. We now, no, honey, this shit's going on. You too busy judging the wrong people, honey, and you don't even see. You don't feel like you need to say nothing to her because she's sitting next to you every Sunday, Wednesday, and Tuesday, Thursday, all of them. And y'all with her, oh, praise God, and we know, Did you know something? Get out of her. I don't want to read the first pew, okay? I just don't want to have to read the first pew. Just don't. They, and then there's this awkward moment where this lady, while they at the little lock-in after they come in after being high. Now, all the one chick who do all the drugs, all she got to say is, God is good. And they say all the time, she like skinning and grinning, honey, you girl. Ooh, baby, the way you doing, honey, I wouldn't be surprised if that uncle hadn't done something to her, because y'all, she acting out for a reason. Now, y'all gonna have to clear that up in case I missed some shit. Put that shit down below. Okay. So, the one lady comes up and said, are you saved? And yada yodel, and I'm like, are the other children saved? And she talks to her for a second or whatever. Then we got this whole scene where her mama and the ex-dude she used to date comes and says, hey, my fiance wants to invite you. This is also that she can show that she's not jealous, gonna be a dutiful wife, and also check out the competition, what should have been. Honey, they sitting there eating this and that, the third, she raking over the coals, and I'm sitting watching the whole time like, girl, now look, we can be cordial. I don't have no reason to dislike you, and you really don't have a reason to dislike me. But we don't have to always break bread now, girl. It's okay. Y'all gonna get married, maybe. But it was just awkward in the way, isn't that something, how we two different, Yoda, this and that and the other. Because there's the one, and then there's the replacement. Now, I don't know which one you are. I think I know. The replacement. But we're going to move on along. And, she's in there. She holds on. The daughter does. Now, at one point, she gets a hold of the young lady who's the new young lady that got raped. She done got a hold of her information that emailed her, which is why Uncle went over to see Oprah about, you need to tell her to leave that shit alone. Now, he was a snake on the last episode when she went to Christ, and then he goes and gets her and said, Bishop, we need you over here, so-and-so. And she's looking at him like, dirty Satan, get thee behind me. On some of that. And she meets up with this young lady, and the young lady said nothing happened. You know, she just said nothing happened. I just did it for attention. You know what I'm saying? And she went on to say, well, you know, I want to tell you about somebody else. And she told her about her sister, whom had said it, then she recanted. And had she have went through with it, really what she was saying to her is you wouldn't have been hurt. And had she have went through, maybe she wouldn't have killed herself. At one point, the child still saying it, but you can see in her mannerisms and the way she is that something went on. They both know something went on. And she, at one point, said it was my fault. It was all me. If something did go on, you know, if did nothing go on, why are you saying it's all you? You know, and I felt so hurt because, see, this is what, you know, this is the part that I was talking about. You know, we always want to talk about how Sharia law and the Muslims, this, that, and the third, you know, talk about that shit. But we fail to mention that the Christians and the Catholics will tell you to stay and get your motherfucking ass beat. No, he's screwing the boys, the girls, and everything in the church, but you better stay. You better endure. But I would have you to know this, that is the one thing that you can be, you know, the one thing you can be divorced for is idolatry. You know, I'm just saying, you know, they always talk about different religions and how they view on it, but let's mention how you view on it. Because you believe, I'll sweep it in a corner, honey. Just sweep it to the side. And this child is thinking it's all on her. And it just keeps going and going, and he's able to keep doing what he's doing because he's on some church board or something. The fuck out of her. Honey, give me a small church any day, baby. At least by, you know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna take me long to pick up on what's right and what's wrong in here. But in a mega church, bitch, you could be at least a month trying to figure out all the dirt and who's the low down and this and that and the third, who to watch out for. Anywho, so she goes on, but she's upset and hurt about it. But she has agreed that she is going to stay here. Like Oprah said, I don't know the character's name, but what I am going to do, y'all, is write the shit down. I know I said I wasn't going to do that. I'm just going to have to write notes. That's the only way I'm going to get the damn names. But I'm still going to be, you know what I'm saying, me. I'm off the cuff. But to at least, you know, get the names and shit together. I've always been horrible with names. She said it ain't going to work like that this time, brother. He's going down this time. You know. And he's trying to get rid of her shit and make it where she lose her stuff because of some historical. Oh, God, I can't. Meanwhile, let me go ahead and talk about the First Lady for a brief moment. And I will say this, the acting is on point. I really do like the characters and the acting and all of that. You know, I think she chose the right people for this. She's somewhere in there hugging up with him, don't want him to have to fly because you know they looking into where the money's going. And they're looking to me like the Reverend is in only. Y'all know, come on now, I don't even have to say that. Honey, they love the perks. Jesus ain't never rode in no jet because he ain't never had to. Anywho, she's like, I don't want you to fly in this, that, and the third. And he begins to tell the story on who this guy's out there because she said, give him some money. He's like, no, it ain't what he want. So she gonna go with him. While they sitting in the airport, that's when her and the uncle sitting too close together. Then the plane's raggedy and beat up and can't get it going. She's fussing about it. She already said, and while they was at church talking about she don't ever want to, fly coach and this and that and other. Girl, really, I can't. Really, you throwing your coat, your mink, and this and that and other, all in the name of the Lord with your low down self. Y'all, I don't like her. She don't want to get on the plane and she don't want to do all of that. The deacon or whomever he is, the rapist, he said, what you want me to do? He said, get me a new jet. Ain't that something? Now, how many people could have been fed with that jet money? Clef, low. I'm just saying, how many people could have been fed with that? You know what I mean? I know that they feel like they'll just do the coin because they are on call 24 hours a day. They work 24 hours. No, you don't. No, you do not. And working for God, that really ain't a job, honey. That's a blessing. If you really are chosen, like I said. Most of y'all answer the phone call for somebody else. You know, you just found out that it was lucrative. Anywho. So, y'all, let me see. What else, Lord? I don't listen, y'all. I'm gonna hang in here with it and watch it, and I'm glad they doing it because it just sets me aflame, honey, to see just how they laying the church's dirt out there. You know what I mean? It ain't no secret that a fourth of the church is wolves in sheep's clothing. Half the time it's a wolf behind the pulpit. You know. Sometimes the wolf is, topping whom they really only want to do the choir and sing, but yet want to down them. Get the fuck. Look. I'm glad they doing this stuff. So y'all, I'm telling y'all, this is how I'm gonna kind of try to go blow by blow. But in the midst of this, I'm definitely gonna say how I feel about it because I'm glad that it's being put out there. And they know they don't want to go against Miss O, honey. So she gonna lay it all the way out there somewhat within reason, I guess. But I haven't heard a lot of hoopla. Y'all know anytime it's a show come on, involves a church of any sort, reality, anything of that nature, honey, especially the black church, they get all in their feelings because y'all got the most to motherfucking hide and the most to lose. From the deacons to the Ursha board to all them other boards y'all building up and taking donations for. Y'all can't. Anywho, y'all tell me y'all thoughts on the whole show in a whole. Are y'all digging it? Are you liking it? Leave your input below. I would love to read the comments and see what y'all thoughts are on the characters, who's playing in it, And in some ways, and I do want to ask this question, is any of this shit familiar to you that's going on in this church? Have you seen some things go on in the church? And if you have, drop that below. Baby, we ain't been to your church. We don't know. Now, I know my loves. Y'all good and bold. Y'all be the saying, over at First Tabernacle Steeple, 2 rocks on the road. Reverend Tutu and Moo Moo over there. Turn, make a left. Y'all will lay it all the way out with the names and everything, honey. And just as sure as I'm sitting here, it'll be 2 or 3 more and be like, I went to that church and he been low down. I'm just saying, leave y'all thoughts. I mean, have you seen some of these things that I'm talking about go on in the church? So y'all let me know y'all thoughts next week when we talk about it. It's going to be about the whole episode or whatever. I'm just going to go from there because I was like, well, which one was first? Which one was second? Because I recorded it, but I set it up for some reason. The first one didn't start recording until 10:19 or something like that. I don't know what went on, but y'all leave y'all thoughts next week. We're going to watch it. I'm not going to be watching it on the app because I just want to kind of go week by week, like that. Also, thank y'all for letting me know what happened to Candace and the have and the have-nots because I knew something else was laying there. And I still say that mama had been low down in her day too. That's just what I'm saying, y'all. So y'all leave that shit below. Let me know y'all thoughts. Drop that in there. Drop your thoughts in there about the church dirt. And I'm talking about the church building, folks. We're going to be clear on that. We talking about the church building, folks. The ones posing and all that. Not the members of the body of Christ. Not the ones that are truly following Christ. You know what I mean? And his teachings. I'm talking about the ones who started out that way but realized it was change in it. And they decided that they was going to be the judge, the jury. They was going to run heaven, hell, and all that in between. And not to mention the ones that then made up limbo. I'm just saying. Like, I'm talking about them. Not the true members. The ones truly following, the word as it is. You know what I mean? The ones that really know I'm striving every day to try to be as good as I can. But I know that I struggle and I fall and this and that and other and I make mistakes. You know what I mean? So y'all leave y'all thoughts on that. See, that's why I don't want. But I'm going to talk about this show because I'm going to watch it. I'm out. Much love.
K to the E to the K, nah, Key. Boss, if you see every time I want to do, don't miss any time when you got it.